Hello everybody, this is Mr. Winkles giving you a cast of this OSL quarterfinal match between TheRock and TheRock. TheRock, of course, is going to be the Protoss. Here is TheRock in the top right corner as the Zerg, and we are going to be seeing this match on Andromeda, which is a cool map, I think, for this kind of thing, so we should be in for quite a treat. Both players here in the OSL, one of the biggest tournaments in Korean StarCraft, and so this is going to be a pressure-packed game. This is the first of a best-of-3 series, so we will see who is able to take that first game and take that really commanding lead in the series. Of course, very difficult to come back from the 0-1 deficit, I suppose. So, I expect we'd see some fairly basic stuff. Zerg is going to take the early expansion. We're going to be able to see some, perhaps some early game aggressiveness from TheRock. He's going to try to avoid being completely predictable against July. Of course, July has one of the best micro of any of the pro gamers out there, so maybe that will come into effect as well. Who knows? First pylon going down, just trying to expand the supply and get something started up, and we see a 9 pool going up here, so July is going to try to get some units quickly here and take control of the very initial purpose of this game, and then the extractor too, so we can expect to see some speedlings, I'm guessing, seeing that extractor going down so quickly. He's just gonna, no, just an extractor trick. Oh, there you go. So those of you who don't know, you can go to the extractor and go back down to 8 supply, load up another drone, then cancel the extractor, and you're up at 10 of 9, give you a little extra supply boost before you make that overlord, which is what I am sure we will be seeing from him soon. Meanwhile, assimilator going down, the Protoss is going to be getting that gas quickly. Notice he's staying on, he's staying in his base there. Is that probe going out to scout? I believe so. See a scouting probe going out. They don't know where each other are, but we notice that the Protoss is going to be staying on one base rather than taking the fast expansion build. So we're going to see how that plays out for him here. There goes the hatchery down, and we should be seeing some Zerglings fairly soon. Spawning pool nearly done, I think. The cybernetics core, there we go. Cybernetics core is going up, and we are getting those 6 Zerglings. Right now only 1 Zealot produced, but good thing he has it, because if he didn't, this could be a lot of trouble. We're seeing the Zerglings split up, maybe just hoping to find that scouting probe. I don't think they will, but we will be seeing him coming in later. Here comes the first 3. And the first 3, they're going to be able to push their way up the ramp. Zealot unable to hold that ramp against 3 Zerglings, and he meets up with his teammate there, and they're going to see if they can stop these Zerglings from doing any damage. It'll be interesting to see when speed comes into a factor and see if they can do anything. A Stargate down, and we see some micro here picking off 1 probe and doesn't even take a hit on the Zerglings. That's excellent micro. Every probe you can take off at this point in the game is going to be very important. Here come the other 3. It's going to flank around. Zealots can't cover both areas and can't quite get that probe before he skirts away. So good control there by TheRock. And here's losing a Zergling right now. Both of them, still the difference between them and most of the other StarCraft players you might be able to run into is that they are constantly back in their base building units and keeping their larvae being used in this case, or keeping those probes running, keeping that Stargate pumping all the while this is happening, while defending the attacks. And we're going to see a Hydralisk den, which means that, we're going to be seeing some Hydralisks, possibly some Lurkers coming from July Zerg pretty soon. And the scouting probe apparently gets annihilated in his base. Some lucky drone has a kill. And 3 Zerglings left now, and it appears as though TheRock is completely covered. So I believe he only lost 1 drone there, maybe 2 if I didn't see it properly, but he will be in plenty good shape economically. Last Zergling getting in just to do some last-minute scouting, I'd bet. The Corsair is already on its way. We have a creep colony going up, and it appears as though TheRock is going to try to counter with what few units he has. This is going to be interesting because July Zerg has very few units. He's been pumping drones and trying to get his economy online. I believe he should have the, if he hasn't got it already, he's probably going to be taking that 3rd base inside the that protected natural base without a geyser. And here we go. Here's the attack. Only 1 sunken colony up. This could be a bit of trouble. July Zerg needs to be very careful here. He takes out the Dragoon, but the Zealots are left, and the Zealots are pretty good against those Zerglings. And meanwhile, the Corsair is flying around, harassing that Overlord. Hydralisk going up the hill, trying to hold that ramp there, but they're getting torn up. They need to do something about that quickly. Meanwhile, units now coming out of July Zerg's hatcheries. He's spending his money on units. He has 3 Zealots in his base. Zerglings managing to take those out, I believe. Yep, one goes down, but he's losing more Zerglings. Meanwhile, another Zealot being rallied to the base, so he's going to try to keep up this pressure. TheRock is definitely enjoying this here. He's trying to take out that Corsair, and he's not able to do it, it looks like. Great awareness to see that the Corsair was on such low health. Will he be able to get to it? Not sure. And, oh, Hydralisk gets taken down. He tried to do some micro there to get the Corsair, but not quite. 4 Zerglings on that 1 Zealot will be a win for the Zerg, and I believe that Overlord goes down. Yes, it does. So, just that Corsair really being a problem. That was some good early game pressure put on by the Protoss, but he's still on 1 base, and he's got to do something about that fairly soon, I would think, before the Zerg really starts to take advantage of this economy. If he can keep the Overlord count down, then he might be able to slow down July Zerg, because every Overlord you take is going to be an investment not only in time, but in resources, and that's money that could be going towards a counterattack at this point that will not be going towards a counterattack. Corsair finally taken down, but that's done his job. TheRock, wary of that counterattack, has some Zealots and some probes there. That ramp will not be easy to take, and we see a Citadel going down, so he will be getting his way into Templar attack pretty soon. See that Forge upgrading in Protoss versus Zerg. You do want to get that those upgrades going up. For the Protoss, you want to get that weapons upgrade, and for the Zerg, you want to get the Carapace upgrade so that you can counteract the weapons upgrade. Because if those Zealots are able to really dice through those Zerglings with an upgraded, if they're have more attack upgrades and the Zerglings have Carapace upgrades, and they're really able to do some damage in that big pile of units when the 2 armies clash. There's a shot of July Zerg trying to figure out how best to go about defeating TheRock, who of course we all know best from his days as a wrestler in the WWF or whatever it is. So we are seeing 3 more gateways, so we're going to see TheRock here going into a more macro-based build, macro phase. They're going to be content to try to work up an army and then see what they can do with it. A lot of Zealots so far because, of course, the Zerglings absolutely tear through Dragoons. And there's a Spire. So we're seeing that Hydralisk tech has already been there, and we're getting the second gas there at the natural. All of that points to that we'll be seeing some Mutalisk soon. Possibly just a little to harass. We see that Zergling now. They finally noticed him just around the base. And some more Zerglings coming down. Maybe just try to hassle TheRock and make it difficult to just step out of his base whenever he'd like to. Meanwhile, TheRock's had that second expansion up for a while now, and I can expect to see some real dividends paying through. He's trying to get through. He's got some Zerglings through. I don't know whether they'll be able to do any damage. Only 2 of them, and they get taken out. Well, there's 1 still alive. He'll just be able to run in and see the Templar attack, which is actually fairly nice to know. And, oh, is he going to take out that probe? He does take out a probe. He takes out 1 probe, and that second probe able to fight it off, apparently much stronger than its recently departed cohort. Now, we're seeing a Zealot counter here on the main, and he's putting down an Evolution Chamber, try to block up these sunken colonies he's putting down. We'll see what kind of damage he can do with this. He's going to go straight for the sunken colony. The Zergling's having a tough time finding their way around it, but now they're beginning to swarm. This looks like it's going to be a failure here for TheRock, but more Zealots being pumped in. He really wants to do something. Wall is nicely placed there by the Hydralisk on that ramp. And the Zealots will not be able to get through, will they? Oh, he's going to try to push through. He's ignoring the defenses. Mutalisks are out to try to harass them. We have 6 Mutalisks, I believe. Let's see if they can get some drone kills. July being very cautious with his drones, dancing them around. He's not going to be able to get many free kills on those. And the last Zealot will be swiped up there by those Mutalisks, but he's seen those Mutalisks coming. He's laying down the photon cannon in his main. He's making another Corsair. He should be fairly well equipped to handle this, although we see some open spots in the bases here. We're going to see if these Mutalisks can do any damage. There's 1 probe down, 2 probes down, 3 probes down. He's doing some excellent micro here. He's going to take out the cannon. Meanwhile, some extra Zealots trying to sneak into the base. We'll see. They're going for each other right now, and he's going to have to pull back the Mutalisks. A great job there by TheRock to really force July into playing his style there. He did not. Using those 3 Mutalisks, 300 minerals might have saved him a lot of probes right there. And meanwhile, he's still going to try to get something there. We have a drone down, and of course, second drone